In this tutorial, we will explore how a calculator can convert a fraction to a decimal. As you can see in the example to the left, this can be a tedious task, especially if your long division skills are rusty. There are two ways a calculator can make short work of converting fractions to decimals. First, remember that when we read a fraction such as 5/8, we can interpret the fraction bar to mean the same thing as the division sign. So 5/8 can be read as 5 divided by 8. Watch as I use that interpretation to convert 5/8 to a decimal using my calculator. We see in the display of our calculator that 5/8 is equivalent to 0.625. Notice this matches the solution found in the example to the left. The second way we can convert a fraction to a decimal is by using the N over D button located in the second column of buttons from the left. It's the third button from the top. It has an N over a D like a fraction. For the sake of simplicity, I will refer to this button as our fraction button. When you press this button, the calculator will display a small box over another small box separated by a fraction bar. The top box will appear to be blinking. This is the cursor waiting for you to input the numerator or top number of the fraction you wish to manipulate. Once we key in the numerator, we can use the arrow keys to navigate to the denominator, or bottom number of our fraction. Watch as I use the fraction button to convert 5/8 to a decimal. Wait a second, that didn't work. The calculator display shows that 5/8 is equivalent to 5/8. We already knew that. Well, we have stumbled on to another wonderful feature of calculators. If 5/8 was not a fully reduced fraction, our calculator would have reduced the fraction for us and displayed the simplified version in the display. What our calculator is telling us is 5/8 is fully reduced. So how do we make it show us a decimal? There are two ways to do this. One is very simple and the other is only slightly less simple, but I will show you both. First, notice the opposing arrows located on the bottom above the Enter key in the lower right. If you press that button, whatever decimal is showing in the display will be converted to a fraction, if possible. Once it's converted to a fraction, you can press the same button to convert it to a decimal again. Watch as I demonstrate this. The second way to do this very same operation is by using the F to D button. It is the topmost button in the fourth column from the left, ignoring the arrow keypad. It has an F and a D separated by opposing arrowheads. Notice that the actual button says Table, while the F to D command is stamped in yellow above the button. This means we have to press the second button in order to activate the F to D operation. The second button is the topmost button in the leftmost column. Watch as I use this feature to convert 0.625 back to 5/8, then back again to 0.625. It doesn't matter which of these commands you use to convert decimals to fractions and fractions to decimals, but one is slightly more efficient than the other. Now let's apply all that we have learned to 7/11. First, I am going to use my fraction button to find out if 7/11 is fully reduced. Once I confirm that, I will use both methods previously discussed to convert 7/11 to a decimal and back again to a fraction. Feel free to pause the video and try this for yourself. Okay, here goes. Hopefully, you too were able to confirm that 7/11 is equivalent to 0.63 repeating.